Hello, this is the Neuroscience of Wealth and Well-Being, and I'm Lisa Frattali, a neuroscience coach. This is RVN TV, and this is my show on RVN TV about neuroscience coaching. I get a lot of questions as to what that is. Neuroscience coaching is getting clients, my clients, to understand their physiology and their biology, so that it can begin to work for them rather than against them. What that means is that we all come into the world with the same equipment, meaning a head and a body. And so we all have the capability, and I believe the responsibility, to understand what a flow state is. Flow is the state of consciousness where you feel your best and you perform at your best. I trained as a neuroscience, to be a neuroscience coach at the Flow Research Collective, founded by Stephen Kotler and Rian Doss. And it was a great, wonderful experience. I learned all about the science of our mind, and it is peak performance in particular. Science is constantly changing, and the one thing you can be rest assured that it will always be changing, but there are certain truths in the world that will never change. In a flow state, you can be more creative, 500% more creative. You feel better, you have more meaning in your life because you're a happier, more relaxed person when you understand what your creativity, what your flow states are. You have more fun, there's more meaning in your life. In the very beginning of COVID, there was a study that was released by The Economist and Dropbox. And it said that there were many statistics in there, but the two main statistics that really stood out is that it said, now this was long before COVID, 86% of the workers in our country are disengaged, dissatisfied, and feel disenfranchised. They're unhappy with their work and their life. There are universal laws in the world that I think everybody should study, and one of them is called the law of non-resistance, also called the law of least effort, which means when you have a direction in life, you have some type of goal you're going after, and you feel like you're pushing towards that goal, when you realize that releasing that force and allowing things to happen is what the law of non-resistance is. It's also getting you to understand the biggest obstacle to not achieving or not experiencing what you perceive to be outside of you is that you think you know better. It is letting go of the I know syndrome, because all progress has ever come from I don't know. I don't know, but I'm curious enough to go on this mission to find the answers. So when you understand the law of non-resistance, it's not that you're no longer on a mission to achieve what you're going for, but stepping away from it for a while. It's releasing, it's letting go of the tension, because when you're going after something, it's a big goal, it creates a lot of tension. It seems to go further and further away from you, like the horizon. So when you look around and have some kind of introspection on a daily basis, you can begin to release the tension in your life and begin to feel gratitude for the things that have already transpired. It's all I can say, it's a feeling, and it's a miraculous feeling of appreciation for what you've already done. And miracles begin to happen. I know if we're talking about science, but science and spirituality are not at opposite ends of the spectrum. They really aren't. It's the same thing. So when you realize that you don't have all the answers, your life, you're happier with your life. It's a feeling of of satisfaction, of contentment, of appreciation for yourself. It's not that you're settling, it's that you're releasing the tension and allowing it to come to you rather than chasing it. So one of the questions that has come across much of the stuff that I've read about success, goal setting, is the miracle question. It is in one of the courses that I've taken called Abundance for Life. And the question goes like this. Think of the thing, that whatever it is in your life that you feel is your nemesis. It's holding you back. And for a lot of people, it's a lack of funds, it's money, usually. It's just what it is, right? Or you're working in a place that you don't feel appreciated. So whatever that main theme in your life is, think about that. So now you go to sleep tonight, and that thing is erased from your life. It's fixed, it's solved. A miracle has happened. So when you wake up tomorrow morning, what do you see that tells you that miracle has happened? How do you feel? And the people in your life, what do they see? And how do they feel? Think about that. And if you can give yourself that feeling without having fixed that problem, why not give yourself that feeling now without having fixed the problem? Do you see, it's a feeling? Yes, and it comes from our thoughts, but it's more of a feeling than allowing yourself to be more present in your life. And because that's really the only thing we have is the present moment. The past is gone and the future is totally an illusion. It really is. So that's an exercise you can do. You could do with your family. And another thing I would say is wealth consciousness is detachment and poverty consciousness is attachment. It's also, poverty consciousness is when you are attached to an outcome, it's the sign you are afraid of uncertainty. Again, you think you know best. When you do goals, I know clear goals are a flow state, are trigger. But when you create goals, create them as process goals and not so much outcome goals. Think of it that way. And that flies in the face of what many gurus say. But I'm telling you, create process goals and not outcome goals. Yes, you can have a target, a financial target, a year target, but really engross yourself in the process of life more so, and you'll be amazed at how the target seems to get hit much faster because you've relaxed. You're in a flow state. You know, you can have flow states, macro flow, micro flow. People also ask Stephen Kotler, can I be in flow 24 hours a day? And the answer is absolutely not. It's like driving a car with your foot on the accelerator all the time. You can't. You need recovery. Recovery is extremely important. To end this wonderful experience, I wanted to read this. It is a Thanksgiving proclamation that was issued by JFK on November 4th, 1962. And it's an excerpt from that. I also got this wonderful proclamation from this great book, which is Zero Frequency, Mabel Katz, The Easiest Way to Peace, Happiness, and Abundance. And I would recommend everyone read that book. Today we give our thanks, most of all, for the ideals of honor and faith we inherit from our forefathers, for the decency of purpose, steadfastness of resolve, and strength of will, for the courage and the humility which we possessed and which we must seek every day to emulate. As we express our gratitude, we must never forget that the highest appreciation is not to utter words, but to live by them. Let us therefore proclaim our gratitude to Providence for manifold blessings. Let us be humbly thankful for inherited ideals, and let us resolve to share those blessings and those ideals with our fellow human beings throughout the world. On that day, let us gather in sanctuaries dedicated to worship and in homes blessed by family affection to express our gratitude for the glorious gifts of God, and let us earnestly and humbly pray that He will continue to guide and sustain us in the great unfinished tasks of achieving peace, justice, and understanding among all men and nations, and of ending misery and suffering wherever they exist. So my 2 cents would be to live in gratitude and appreciation for the life you've been given, and help others to feel gratitude and appreciation also, to spread joy, love, and end misery and suffering in the world wherever you see it. It's been a joy. Thank you.